Hey guys, Brian Kiplinger here, and in this section I'm going to go through and show you how to set up your call loop account. Now to get there, you just want to go to spawebinar.com/call loop. Here's the URL right here. And when you get to the home page, this is what you're going to be looking at. Let me show you pricing real quick before we go in. This is very inexpensive to use. You get a 14-day trial. It includes 25 free messages and a demo keyword if you're using any kind of a short code, but we don't need it for any of this. At this section, it's just a pay-as-you-go program. You pay 5 cents per message. Here's the basic $29 a month. They give you 250 messages, then it's 5 cents for each additional message, and you can go on up from there. You can get it down to 4.5 cents per message. What we're using Call Loop for is for one, triggering a voice broadcast as soon as someone opts in from our capture page or they opt in from a lead gen ad on Facebook, and also to do text broadcasts. Now we also have Sales Message that does texting as well. Sales Message was created by Call Loop, but that's a platform that doesn't use a short code. It's actually a phone number, so you have the ability to engage conversation with people. And all this is going to kick out automatically. So I'm just going to show you how to set up the account. Then at a later time when we go back in through Zapier, we're going to show you how to connect it all. So first thing you're going to want to do is go up to sign up free right here. Go ahead and enter your information and create your account. And then go and sign in. Okay, once you're in here, the first thing you're going to want to do, you're not going to see any of this stuff because you don't have any groups created yet. The first thing you're going to want to do is create a group. And you do that right up here where it says create a new group. Just click that. Okay, then you're going to name your group name right here. And you don't need to mess with anything below that. Just name your group name and hit create group. Now, I created one a little bit ago. Where's it at? As Cyclone training right here. Oh, it's looping me back. That's okay. So with groups, you want to be careful when you're coming in to create any new messages, because if you have multiple groups that are set up in here, you want to make sure that you're always in the right group. So right here where it says current group, make sure you're in the right group. Every time you log in, make sure you're in the right group before you go and create messages, because you don't want to go and create a message for a completely different group to send out a broadcast, which would confuse your list. So make sure you got that done. As soon as that's done, you're going to come over to where it says audio. Right up here, that little audio button. Okay, and this is where your voice messages are going to be set. Okay. So what you're going to do is click right here where it says create a new audio. There'll also be another button right here that'll say it as well. Just click on create a new audio. And there's two ways you can do this. You can either upload it as an MP3, maybe you pre-recorded it on your computer and you can just upload it as an MP3, or you can record by phone. Click record by phone. You just dial this phone number, enter the PIN code, follow the instructions, and leave your voicemail or your voice message. Now, you're going to do it a couple of ways. You're going to have the option for people to be able to press 1 to connect. It's also going to leave, if they don't answer their phone, it's going to leave them a voicemail. So you want to leave them a phone number to call back. They can't press 1 to connect from a voicemail. And sometimes you just want to send out a message where you're not giving them any call to action. Like, for example, if somebody just opts in on your capture page for the first time, or comes in through a lead gen ad, you can have an immediate message go out as they're on your sales letter or as they're on your webinar page. You can have a message go out immediately that says something to the effect, hey, this is Brian. I just noticed you opted in. You're probably looking at my website right now. I just wanted to introduce myself, let you know that I'm a real person. I'm here to answer any questions that you might have. Pay close attention in the webinar. About 5 minutes into it, I'm going to drop some really, really cool information, kind of create an anticipation for what they're going to be looking at. And then that's it, right? You're not telling them to call you. You're not telling them to do something. You're just saying hi and making a little bit more of a personal connection, as opposed to, opt in, go to the sales page. Nobody else really does that. So you doing something like that makes you stand out big time. And that's why this whole process with Sales Cyclone and the back-end automation on this stuff is so effective. So Once you have your messages scripted out, remember you're going to have one that says, press 1 to connect. You're going to have another one that's the exact same message that is for voicemail, where you say, hey, here's my number, give me a call. And then you have another message that you leave, just like I just mentioned, just to say hi. So once you have your messages ready to go, the next thing you're going to want to do is you're going to create a trigger for them. Okay, so you're going to come right up over here to where it says messages and go right down here to where it says triggers. Okay, and now you're just going to create a trigger. So you're going to name it, let's see, sales Cyclone training. Now there's two things you can do here. You can trigger an SMS text message, which we don't need to do. We have sales message that does that, which actually uses a phone number instead of a short code, so you can engage conversation with that person from that trigger. What you're going to do is select voice broadcast right here. You're going to enter in your phone number. Right here on the unsubscribe, go down to the bottom and hit 9. And depending on what you're trying to do, you can either do a voicemail only. So if they answer, nothing, it just hangs up. It only leaves voicemail. You don't want to do that because you're missing some people, right? This option will hang up when the answering machine is detected. So this is a live answer only. If an answering machine is detected, it won't leave a message. If you select transfer call, then what you can do is press 1 to connect, and then you just have your number here where you want it to forward to. So in your message, you could say, if you'd like to speak to me in person, press 1 on your dial pad now, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have, something along those lines. But again, about 2/3 of the people that receive these messages don't answer their phone if they don't recognize the phone number. So you're going to want to have the identical message, but instead of saying press 1, you're saying call me at this number on their voicemail. So you'll come down here to where it says live answer audio, and you'll click the drop down. Now you can record by phone from here. If you want to do that, you can just select it, record it, and do it from here. Or if you've already recorded it back in the audio section, you just come in here and you select it. And then your voicemail, same thing. Come down here and select your voicemail message. Okay, then you hit create trigger, and that's it. Now, the first time you do this, after you have all this set up, when we go into Zapier, you're going to need to connect Zapier to Call Loop. And in order to do that, you're going to need to have the API key. And the way that you find the API key is you come right up over here to where it says account. And then right down here it says API key. Click that, and here it is. So just copy that and paste that on a notepad or a Word doc so you have that available when we go in to connect Call Loop with Zapier and the other components. Okay, now that you got all that set up, there's a couple of other things that you can do inside of Call Loop, which is really cool. You can actually set up an autoresponder series if you have text broadcasts that you want to go out, a series of voice broadcasts that you want to go out over a period of time. And the way that you do that is come right up over here to where it says messages, and you can create follow-ups right here. Okay, select create a follow-up. You can name it. And you can either send it immediately when you connect the message, or you can send it later. So if you want to stagger it, you can go, I want this one to go out, because you're going to trigger. Remember the trigger message that we went through, that's going to kick out immediately. This right here, you could say, I want this message to go out 2 days after, and I want it to go at, well, if you send it at 1:15 a.m. Eastern, you're probably going to tick some people off. So maybe like at, let's say 7:15 p.m. Eastern time, something like that, right? And you can set it to only send this message on certain days. Like if you don't want it to go out Saturday or Sunday, you only want to do it Monday through Friday, you can do it that way too. But you'll do the same thing. You'll click this, click continue, and then you're going to connect the message. Now you can either do it as an SMS message, or you can select right here voice message, and you'll set it up the same way. You'll select your message or record it. You'll do it the same way that you did when you set up the trigger. And that's how you can set up your follow-ups. And then when you're done with this one, you can set up another one that goes out 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, etc., etc. Okay. Now let's say that you have a message that you just want to have go out just to send a broadcast to your entire list. It works the same way. You'll come up over here to messages. You'll select broadcasts. Okay, then you're going to click create a broadcast. You're going to name it. You can send it immediately, or you can schedule it to go out at a later time, and then you can send a broadcast out to the entire group. Now remember, when you're doing broadcasts or anything like that, you want to make sure, I said it before, but I can't overemphasize this because I've done this, make sure that you have the correct group selected that you're going to want to send that broadcast to, and you're setting those follow-up messages for. So that's it, and we'll catch you in the next video.